Morning, everybody. Why are you wearing a suit? It's a beautiful day. All right, good morning, everybody. Well, first of all, we'll talk about surf lifesaving and then we'll move on to some other matters. So it's great to be here back at Main Beach, and of course a lot of people are going to be going to the beach over the holidays. So can I please make sure that you swim between the flags. It's really important because the surf lifesavers need to be able to see you, and they won't be able to see you if you get into trouble and you're outside those flags. So I've made that message very clear to my family members, and hopefully mums and dads out there will do exactly the same to make sure all of their family knows exactly the same thing. Well, today I'm here to kickstart the Queensland Surf Lifesaving Appeal with a donation of $150,000. So of course that's going to go a long way, and we want to make sure that all of this money is going to a worthy cause. So if you can donate, please make sure that you can. And secondly, in some very exciting news, we're always looking to get more events here to Queensland and the Gold Coast. I can confirm that in 2024 we will have the Lifesaving World Championships right here on the Gold Coast. So that is fantastic news. It's going to be from the 20th of August to the 8th of September at Carrara Beach and the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. And it's the first time since 1988, some of you young people wouldn't have been born then, has been held in Queensland. So that's fantastic news. So well done to getting those events here. So I'll hand over to the Tourism Minister, Sterling, to say a few words, and we'll hear from Surf Lifesaving. But once again, can I please stress to everyone, please, over this summer, take care in the beach and swim between the flags. Thanks, Sterling.
Thank you, Premier. Well, it's great to be here with you, Premier, and with the team from Surf Lifesaving Queensland, including Dave and Jared, but also to be here with Ron Rankin AM, the project lead for the 2024 Lifesaving World Championships. So can I reiterate the Premier's message first and foremost around that message of surf safety, beach safety this summer? It's vitally important, particularly for those people who are visiting in great numbers from across the country and indeed coming back from across the world to here and beautiful beaches right across the state, including here on the Gold Coast, that it's really important that you follow that lead, follow that support that the wonderful surf lifesaving movement provides, and swim between the flags. It makes a huge difference when we see that the statistics tell us that some 90% of interventions that our lifesavers and lifeguards have to make are made to people who are swimming outside the flags. And I've also got a flag that tends to be men too. It's blokes who think that they know better and swim outside the flags. It's a very important message that you all be lifesavers by swimming between the flags yourself, protecting your own safety, but very importantly looking after children and others by making sure that they swim between the flags as well. So that's a key message from Surf Lifesaving Queensland this year. Be a lifesaver, swim between the flags. And so it's very pleasing that in able to support their summer appeal, that the Palaszczuk government has been able to provide $150,000 towards their appeal. I know that takes the appeal actually started off with taking some donations from back in October, so this means that we're now getting up there close to their target, but a big further push from anyone out there who can jump online and get onto the Surf Lifesaving Queensland appeal and provide your support for a great volunteer movement. Queensland, Australia's largest volunteer organisation that provides excellent safety and surety, as well as great experiences for young people right across the state. And I'm pleased to say that those experiences can extend through the surf lifesaving movement, and other lifesaving movements across the globe can extend through to being part of the Lifesaving World Championships. And it's very exciting to be able to have those Lifesaving World Championships here on the Gold Coast in 2024. As the Premier said, back in Queensland for the first time since 1988. Wonderful to have participants from 50 countries across the world prospectively going to be involved in a broad array of life-saving associated competitions, be that on the boards, be that pool safe, pool life-saving activities, be that in the surf, swimming, and indeed beach activities. Like I was having a chat earlier with Ron. My favourite is flags, so I look forward to getting back here and seeing the flags happening on the beach at Kurrawa, alongside so many other great events, both in the pool at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre, in the surf, in the water at Kurrawa Beach, and on the beach at Kurrawa in 2024. An exciting project, and I'm very pleased that over and above support that Tourism Events Queensland is providing, the Palaszczuk government is providing $250,000 of support towards that event. That will attract some more than 7,000 participants and others, and we'll see something like 12,000 are predicted over and above that of supporters that'll be attracted from across the globe and interstate to come and be part of that event. So I know Queenslanders will get in and around and behind it as well, but that'll deliver some $15 million worth of benefits to the local tourism economy. And speaking of the local tourism economy, here on the Gold Coast, we've seen what the latest independent statistics in terms of tourism activity has meant for our tourism economy, our visitor economy here on the Gold Coast, released just yesterday. We see that of the $24.5 billion of overnight visitor expenditure, a record figure, but that's been recorded up to the 12 months up to September 2022. That 4.2 billion of that has been generated here on the Gold Coast. It's further example of the way in which the Gold Coast continues to contribute significantly to our visitor economy and the rebound and the rebuild. Now, the reality is international visitation is still at low levels compared to pre-pandemic times, and we will see that take some time to rebound fully. But this is all very positive for the local visitor economy and very exciting to see the way in which it's supporting jobs here on the Gold Coast and supporting the really important role that the visitor economy plays in the great lifestyle that people here on the Gold Coast enjoy. So very happy to be speaking to these exciting events, but also happy to be ready to hand over, acknowledge the support of that the Palaszczuk government's providing to to Surf Life Saving Queensland. Jared.
There we go.
Thank you. Get in there. Right. Yeah.
Over this way, guys. Thank you.
Okay, we might head over to Dave to say a few words.
I think Jared was
Jared first?
Yep.
Thanks, Premier.
Okay, thank you, Minister. Thank you, Premier. I think you've stolen my thunder. I don't need to say too much. Other than thanks to the Queensland Government and particularly the Premier for the support of Surf Life Saving Queensland. Your support helps to ensure our lifesavers have the training and equipment needed to continue saving lives on our beaches. Our lifesavers give their time and risk their lives to keep beachgoers safe from Port Douglas in the north through to Rainbow Bay in the very south. But these services, they're expensive to operate. For example, an IRB, which we have here somewhere, that's about $13,000. A fully loaded first aid kit's about $1,500. Rescue boards are $1,000 each, and something as simple as a rescue tube is over $100 each. So the donation that the Premier has kindly announced today of $150,000 for our Surf Life Saving Appeal is very gratefully appreciated, and it makes a big difference to our clubs, our lifesavers and lifeguards. It also comes at a very important time as locals and tourists flock to our beaches, as the Minister has said. There's no doubt that Queensland has the best beaches in the world. However, a she'll be right attitude won't save your life, especially with the unpredictable conditions that we're now experiencing. Our latest summer campaign, Be a Lifesaver, reminds beachgoers that they can help our lifesavers to stay safe at the beach this summer. Everyone has a job to do to ensure we all return safely home to our loved ones. The campaign specifically targets families with young children, males aged 20 to 49, and international visitors, even though, as the Minister said, they're not quite here in their droves as normal. So the messages are: be a better example for your children and swim only at patrol beaches and during patrol hours, and always obviously between the red and yellow flags. Be the one to look out for your mates and don't let them swim at night or under the influence of alcohol. Be the beachgoer that talks to lifesavers or lifeguards and sets the example to follow their advice, especially where you're unfamiliar with the conditions. So every little risk you don't take makes you safer. Last season, our lifesavers and lifeguards saved over 3,000 lives, completed almost 600,000 preventative actions, and performed over 32,000 first aid treatments. They're incredible numbers. Unfortunately, 13 lives were lost on our Queensland beaches last season. Obviously, that's 13 too many as far as we're concerned. To help reduce this season, we're once again, as the Premier and Minister reinforced, we're really asking everybody to swim between the red and yellow flags where they're safe. I'll now hand over to Ron Rankin, our project chair for Lifesaving World Championship.
Thanks, Jared. Premier and Minister, thank you very much for the time you're taking today to join us here. And can I just say, as an elder of this organisation here in Australia, I've been in it for almost 60 years, can I thank you personally for the great support that you provide to surf lifesaving here in Queensland. It is unequalled in the country from any other state. So we really appreciate that, and thank you very much. Thank you also to the Queensland Government and the Premier for supporting us in our bid to host the Lifesaving World Championships in 2024. Here on the Gold Coast, there'll be 3 venues. Your support, of course, has been instrumental in securing this event back in 2018, and we will deliver a very successful event. The Lifesaving World Championships, ladies and gentlemen, would not be possible without the support of the Queensland Government, the City of the Gold Coast, various government bodies, the Tourism and Events Queensland organisation, Major Events the Gold Coast, who have contributed vital funding and in-kind support to ensure that the Gold Coast and Queensland will reap the economic and other benefits from this event. This event that showcases excellence in life-saving sport from around the world and rescue will attract the most talented and the most skilled lifesavers and athletes to compete in the World Championships here on the Gold Coast. The action-packed event will run for 3 weeks between the 20th of August and the 8th of September in 2024. It will inspire, it will be inclusive, and it will be the best ever and the best attended event ever held at a World Championship in the world. I've been to about 10, and I can assure you that the Gold Coast will attract more people than any other part of the world. During the time that the event is held, some 7,000 competitors will compete, which is larger than the Commonwealth Games competitors, including Olympians. Surf Lifesaving over many years has produced more than 400 Olympians in kayaking, swimming and other sports, and many of them will join us here in 2024. Events include from youth to masters, and an additional 12,000 supporters will come with them. It's like a family affair when you have a life-saving event. The kids come, the family comes, the coaches come, everyone comes. And we hope to attract more than 50 national teams to the Gold Coast to take part in the entire competition. Pool events will be held at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre, at Southport, and the ocean events will be held at Kurrawa, and all the other activities, meetings, assemblies will be held in the Broadbeach precinct. Lifesaving World Championships 24 promises to be the biggest international sporting event held in Queensland since the Commonwealth Games in 2018. 2024 will also be an even bigger and more significant event than previous championships, as it will bring together all nations that are members of the International Lifesaving Federation. We will also conduct a General Assembly of Nations, which includes regional meetings, commission meetings, civic receptions, and all the rest of it that goes with it. The International Lifesaving Federation around the world consists of 170 countries and member organisations. It's a very large organisation these days. We hope to attract over 100 countries to the General Assembly on the Gold Coast. Recognising the importance of this event and building strong relationships within our region, Surf Lifesaving Queensland will also provide some financial assistance to 25 developing nations. This is a very important issue. There are many countries where drowning is a big issue. Every year, several 100,000 people drown around the world. So our primary objective of the International Lifesaving Organisation is to save lives, just like Surf Lifesaving Queensland. And of course, sport stimulates the organisation as well and creates these services in various countries. These developing nations will be essentially from all over the world, but we will be focusing on the Asia Pacific in general. Surf Lifesaving Queensland is very excited to run this event and work closely with the Queensland Government and the local stakeholders to deliver a very world-class event. Can I just close by saying, at a time when we are all grieving, when emotions are high in Queensland and through a loss of life which came close to our hearts, can we think about the 3,100 lives that were saved by Surf Lifesavers in Queensland last year and how that would have affected so many families if those people had not gone home. Last year in Queensland, they also carried out several 100,000 preventative actions. Surf Lifesaving is unique. The organisation here in Queensland, in Australia, is the biggest and the best in the world of its kind. And maybe I might be a bit biased, but it's a fact of life. And we should be very grateful to our volunteer Surf Lifesavers for what they do. Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, are there any questions to anyone first about the announcements here today? Okay, we've got one here, yeah. Oh, well, I think you'll see that, as the Minister said, tourism's back here on the Gold Coast, back to those pre-COVID levels, which is fantastic. And of course, we're creating more jobs, and the Gold Coast has a low unemployment rate, and that's exactly what we've been doing, is creating more jobs across our state.
On the tourism front, how rewarding is it that Queensland is the only state predicted to make a full domestic recovery?
Yeah, look, it's fantastic news. I mean, you only have to look at a beautiful day here on the Gold Coast to notice why people flock here from not just around Australia but around the world, and we're going to continue to see those numbers increase. It's also very encouraging to see a whole lot of new developments that are in the pipeline as well, that are being put in place here on the Gold Coast as well to cater for those increased accommodation that's needed.
Other states aren't expected to get there until late 2023. What do you think, what the key to success here in Queensland?
Well, I think the key is we can say, first of all, thank you to Queenslanders, because once we kept Queenslanders safe with our health response, we said that we would have a strong economic response, and our economic response is very good compared to the other states around the nation.
New South Wales is second on the list. How good is it to get another one up on them?
We always like beating New South Wales. We're at Queensland through and through, and once again, fantastic news.
And just on international flights as well, Queensland is expected to announce more direct routes. Is it fair to say that will directly impact somewhere like Cairns?
Well, we've got an aviation attraction fund, and the Minister's been working very hard to attract more flights, especially to the Gold Coast, to Cairns, to Brisbane, and we are seeing more of those international routes opening up, which is great news.
Do you think Australians have lost their passion for overseas travel after the pandemic?
No, I think a lot of people are weighing up. Some people are still going overseas. People have families overseas, but of course, holidaying at home is appealing for many people as well. So I'm quite sure that no matter where Queenslanders go, please be safe. And it's great to see these bumper tourism numbers, because that means even more jobs for locals.
How would you spend the holidays?
Sorry?
How would you spend the holidays?
Yeah, I'll be spending some of my time here on the coast. Yes, thank you. So can I just say thank you to Queensland for supporting the memorial service that was held yesterday for Rachel and Matthew. So can I also say that this morning I spoke to Ian Levers from the Queensland Police Union, and the Queensland Government will be putting in $100,000 towards their appeal as well, and I know that'll go a long way to helping with the families. Secondly, in relation to a national gun register, of course I said that I support that, and I'll be raising it at the National Cabinet meeting when we meet next year. We will always look at how we can tighten things up, and I think that's why having a holistic approach at what's happening nationally. I think what we want to see is if a person is registered for guns in one state, they're also recognised in the other state if they transfer. So I think that's the issue we need to look at. But I think everybody would welcome anything we can do to tighten up gun laws even further. Look, our government will always continue to talk with the gas companies about their prospects of whether or not they're releasing more gas for domestic or international. And we have a strong gas industry in this state. We always support our gas industry. In fact, one thing I have said very clearly on a number of times is that we had a gas pipeline which went from the Bowen Basin down, that would help alleviate some of the supply issues that are in New South Wales and Victoria.
Christmas is only a couple of days away as well. Once you're back in there, family.
Well, I need some time to do some Christmas shopping, I know that. So time's running out for me. I'm quite sure it's running out for everybody else in terms of getting their Christmas shopping done. But can I say to everyone, please have a safe Christmas, spend some time with your loved ones, with family and friends. It's a very special time of the year, and especially over the last couple of years, we've had to be dealing with COVID and restrictions. This year, please get out and about, enjoy the great Queensland lifestyle, and have a lovely Christmas with family and friends. And hopefully Santa's been looking at who's been naughty and who's been nice. Hopefully there's a lot more nice people out there. Okay? Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Premier, sort of like to be ambassador.